Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Today I think, actually I'm not too sure what we're going to do today, I haven't decided yet. I'm thinking either like a permanent Arctic base on Kerbin, or like, I have no idea. I think I'll do like a permanent base in the Arctic in Kerbin. I'll do something like that, maybe like a little science lab or something. So what I'll do here, actually I think I've got one saved. I think. Yes, so this is the one I made earlier today. It's pretty crazy looking, so I'll give you a basic walkthrough on how the rockets work here. So I always tend to build, I build this part first. So we've got our Mark 1 cockpit on top. Then we have our Mark 1/2 or 2 command pod. I then have a 400 volt battery. 6 radial parachutes on here, so that way it lands. This is the belly of the craft. You've got the landing struts there. 2 solar panels. These are the gigantic ones that come out. The landing struts. I'm going to add lights to this. I just think they look cool. And I have to add a ladder still too. So I'll keep going down. We've got the decoupler, the RCS ports. In order for the RCS ports to work, you have to have either these bottles here strapped to your craft, or these ones here. These ones here are the biggest ones. They hold 750 monopropellant. Usually for my moon missions, I usually have 3 tanks of this on here. Or 2 tanks, sorry, and then on my space station ones I usually have 3. So they're fairly big. So now these are worth 150 each, or they hold 150 each. And we've got 300, 600, we've got 900 monopropellant, which is more than plenty for going to the Arctic. So my next thing is going to be a ladder. Yes, ladder. We'll use this one here, the TELUS LV Bay Mobility Enhancer. It is the highest quality one, so I just don't know which way it extends. Alright, let's just make sure. That should work, I think. Yeah, it should work. Put some lights on here, just because they look pretty cool. So in order to rotate your stuff, so like to rotate the light like that, you just press like your direction pads that you can, or your keys that would control the spacecraft. So you do. So I'm gonna put one there. On there. I'll do it again on the other side. And the one there. And put one there. Maybe we'll throw a couple more like up here. Like a headlight going. So it'll off center. There we go, got a little bit of a headlight going there. Alright, so these rockets down here, what you want to do, you place these first one here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fuel tanks. And then I've got the Rockomax main cell liquid engine. It puts out 1500 thrust. Then I like to grab the radial decouplers, put them on. But you can put 2 on at a time, in like the symmetry mode. Put them on. Then attach your fuel tanks on both sides. Attach your engines, and then grab another set of radial decouplers, put it on the other side, and do the same thing. Put all the same engines on the bottom, and then after that you want to grab this fuel line here. You want that one there. You clip it from, get a better angle here. I'm going to put it from this one fuel tank to the next, like that, and then from this one here to the main one. So now as we go, these ones will drain first. You can decouple from them, and then you'll have full tanks from it, because these ones transfer the fuel to these ones. All 3 of these will be full, and then you can drop them once these ones burn out, and you have your main one here, and then you can go from there. So I sometimes have extra engines strapped to the back of these, but usually you don't need them. I usually do when I go for like a moon mission. So yeah, I think that's all that we really need on here. Let's name it something. Arctic Base 1. There we go. Perfect. Let's see what we've got for a crew here. I'm not going to put Jebediah in there. He's probably my favorite guy, so just in case this goes bad. We'll put just like the cheap guys. We'll call them the cheap guys. Alright, so to put your crew in, you just click crew. Put them in here. If you don't have any more crew in here, you can go to the astronaut complex. Then you can just click the check mark here and it moves them over. So you just do this. There you go. Your astronauts are now full. You can see what each person's assigned to, who's died. To go back, you just press close. Alright, so I think we're ready to go out to the launch pad. Alright, so one thing that I like to do, I almost never liked launching a spacecraft at night. Just my preference. I find it's just hard to navigate. So we'll fast forward here until alright, so the sun's coming up there now. So we'll double check everything here. So all 5 engines will fire at the same time. We want this decoupler to go off first. That is right? Yes. I think so. And then these ones here will go off second. Alright, and then we'll decouple and then all of our parachutes will open. Alright, so let's press T, hold shift, and launch. So now that we are airborne here, instead of tilting to the right like we usually do to 90 degrees, we're actually, once we hit 10,000 meters, we're going to tilt it forward, so it'll point us north instead of pointing us east. So that way we can get to the Arctic, and then we can land this bad boy. So with this base, once it lands, is that ladder still out? This is good. Let's see what I'm doing. So once we get up there, this base will it'll stay there. If I want to bring them back, yeah, I figured that would have happened. Yeah, okay. Let's kind of weird. I don't understand what's going on there. But anyway, we'll continue. We should be able to make it, I think. We'll start tilting to the north. Just above 90 degrees there. Hopefully we'll be alright. So this here, when you go into the orbit map, you'll see it starts to rotate. So this will, once this is aiming at our North Pole, we'll be good to go. So we've still got lots of fuel, and we're still trucking along here. So I think the next mission I'm going to do, I think I'm going to try and design a rover, and we're going to put it on Moon. I think. It's either that or we're going to land Kerbals, or Kerbins, sorry. Kerbals? Whatever they're called. Kerbins. Kerbals, yeah, they're Kerbals. We'll land some of those guys on the Moon. And we'll walk around, see if we can get back. Like I said in the first video, I haven't had a successive Moon mission where I've been able to get my men back. So I haven't, which is kind of a pain, but what can you do? Just retry it. So we're kind of playing it close here. I'm not sure if we're going to run out of fuel before we get there. I think we're going to be alright. It's going to be close, that's for sure. So once we get there, we're going to press X when we're over the Arctic. Oh yeah, we got lots of fuel to get there. So we're going to press X. And now it is pretty much just a waiting game until we get over there. So we can now eject from that and drift off. We're going to actually shut off SAS so it doesn't waste our power. And we're going to fast forward here. As you can see, we're cruising around the planet here. I'm going to go into the staging mode just so I can see what our altitude is. So there's the Arctic right there. That's actually our other chunk of our spacecraft that we ejected, and it fell a little faster, so we're going to fast forward still here a little bit. Well, this isn't good, kind of a little bit of control there. So I think it's kind of scaring me how we're kind of like tumbling out of control, but once there's... There we go, I was going to say, once there's atmospheric pressure, the parachute's open. So what we're going to do is once we slow down a little bit, we'll open up the landing gear, and that way we can land peacefully. Actually, I like to go into this one here. You can kind of see what he sees. It's kind of cool. You just press C to get out of that. So we're slowly coming down here. And actually with the ladder we have, if I put it on the right way, which I think I did. Did I? Yes, I did. So we try to get that back into place before we hit the ground. Alright, so that way now we can have the Kerbins, or Kerbals, I think they can get out now, and they'll be able to walk around. So we've hit the 500 feet. I'm actually going to open up our landing gear. Actually, this thing kind of reminds me of the, can't remember those things, the giant robots that they have on there with the lasers on the front. That's what this thing reminds me of, kind of. So I'm going to fast forward it a little bit here. Just hoping that it doesn't destroy my parachutes as we come down. Oops. Alright, so we're at 100 meters. We're almost there. 7 meters a second. It's a pretty decent speed to be coming down on the ground. But, there we go. Look at that. That's perfect. So now, the main thing you want to do whenever you land somewhere is to open up the solar panels. So that way, if you're ever low on batteries, you'll have them recharge. Wow, this thing looks like an insect. It's kind of like an anteater. It's kind of weird. It's a little on the strange side, but it's kind of cool at the same time. So we'll extend our ladder here. So I think I'm pretty sure they'll be able to jump out if they have to, or if they'll be able to get back in if they have to. Sorry. And there's that. So I'm going to fast forward time here. I want to see what this thing's going to look like at night. I'm going to turn on the lights. Alright, so it is now nighttime. Let's turn on our headlight here. It doesn't really light it much up, but I think there's a button up here for lights. There we go. That's that. So I'm actually going to take the chance here and see if where's it going to dump the Kerbin in. We'll try it with Milos Kerman. I don't know if the jetpack will do anything here or not. So he can walk. That's a good thing. He can jump. Just making sure he doesn't break off a solar panel or die. So I think I'm going to close one of the solar panel here. That way he doesn't destroy it when he climbs down. It's a bit of a faceplant there, but he's good. Look at that. So we've actually got some scientific instruments on here, which I'm guessing have to be inside the spacecraft to use. That's kind of fun. Hoping it lets me get back on this ladder. But I've got a feeling it's not going to let me. Oh! Ho ho! There we go, look at that. Uh-oh, that's not a good sign usually. Well, he ran into a bit of a difficulty here. I can't get him back in the ship. That's a problem. This is actually a problem I was afraid I was going to have, and I should have tested it before we left. But I thought, oh, it'll be alright. Yeah, that's a problem. Well, I'm going to have to think of a solution, but that is all for tonight, guys. Guys and gals. Our next mission will be to Min. I'm not sure what we're going to do there, but I will let you know. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends, post on Facebook, do whatever you have to do to make sure people see me, because the more people we have, the more stuff we can do. Thank you guys, and have a great night.